Should she turn off the...
Just be happy with what is on the horizon. Be happy with the fact that we are about to have a football team like we have never had in this city before. Be happy that we are going to have a football team that for the next 5, 10, maybe 15, hell, maybe even 20 years is going to be talked about as a consistent contender because we have the right people in the front office, we have the right people running the show, and they're going to do things the right way this time. And we've never had that here in Chicago.
Abused stepchildren. We don't believe the next guy isn't going to kick the shit out of us like the last guy did.
That's fair. That's fair.
Everybody's writing Fitz gibberishes today, and they're all better than mine.
And welcome to Bourbon Street. This is Combs and Fitz live.
We're not at Bourbon Street.
I'm waiting for Morgan to peek her head around.
Wishful thinking.
Anyway, we're live. We're at McNally's. Kind of. I mean, we've got 4 or 5 people here.
It feels like
people
it.
are trickling in.
Yeah, it feels
People
like
are trickling in. It's slowly but surely. You've decided that you're going to point the camera at the ceiling, though.
I mean, it's good enough.
At the crowd. Oh, hey, look at that. Now it's Jesus. Say hi, everybody. Look at it. See, we've got people. People listen. People are trickling in. More people expected to arrive soon. We've got a lot of stuff going on, though. We got the Bears 2-2 heading into what is a really soft stretch of the schedule, right? Like, we've got Panthers this week, Jaguars next week, and kind of a soft schedule through the next 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, really, I think that intro you did, which didn't sound very good last week, is starting to sound better and better and might get better and better as the weeks go by until you know, the Bears start playing the hard part of the schedule, which is going to be Detroit, the Packers, and the Vikings, who are all of a sudden 4-0.
Yeah, about to be 5-0 because, like Jeremiah Murray says, Aaron Rodgers stinks now.
Yeah.
I was watching that game this morning before I left to come here. McNally's, not Bourbon Street, McNally's. I was watching that game this morning, and I'm looking at Aaron Rodgers overthrow wide receivers. And it's not something you're used to, right? Because Aaron Rodgers has been that guy who, over the course of time, whether you like the guy or not, look, I hate the Packers, and we're going to get to the Packers here in just a minute because I have to pay a debt. But you look at that guy, he is a top 5 quarterback all time. There are 5 quarterbacks in the course of history that have thrown for 25 or more touchdowns in a season and 5 or less interceptions, and all 5 of them are Aaron Rodgers. So he's a top 5 quarterback all time. I'm not used to seeing him overthrow his targets. I'm not used to seeing him underthrow his targets. I'm not used to seeing him do the things that he was doing on the field this morning. 2 interceptions in the first quarter.
Yeah, and a couple weeks ago, it looked like he was back. Like he had his legs under him. Looked like he was throwing pretty well. A lot of good completions. I don't know what's happening this week. Maybe there was an ayahuasca stop on the way to the game.
They are in Germany.
Maybe he didn't know where he was. Maybe he didn't know he was in Germany.
Maybe
like you don't even know you're at McNally's right now. How much Captain is in that Coke?
You have to ask the bartender more. She does make great drinks, so if you're in the area, come on down to McNally's. She does make great drinks. There might be more Captain than Coke.
It was raucous in here last week. It got loud.
It did get loud.
After halftime.
Yeah.
And a little hot.
After we left.
That could have just been me, though. I could be slowly going through menopause.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm going through my changes.
I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true.
But yeah, I mean, it was a great week. Bears won. They beat a team they should have won that was hurt. Stafford wasn't as good, but he was under siege a little bit at the end of that game. In the first half, it looked a lot like the same.
Yeah.
They're in London, not Germany. Germany, but yeah, Germany.
Christ, what is wrong with
if you mix up Germany and London, it's okay now.
Europe,
but
right?
if in 1940 you mix up Germany and London, you could have some problems. I'm just saying.
That's fair.
I'm just saying.
Look,
the Third Reich
and all.
I have
to get this over with.
Hitler.
I have to.
I had to mention
it.
Hitler.
Since there's not a lot of people here right now, it's a perfect time to do it.
All right.
In week 2,
Pansy.
In week 2, the Colts were playing the Packers, and I made a bet with Ben Catalano, who does a great job over on Dads with Bacon.
Yeah, great show.
I made a bet with him that there was no way Malik Willis and the Packers were beating the Colts and Anthony Richardson. And little did I know that Anthony Richardson actually sucks.
Yeah.
Nobody saw that coming. As a matter of fact, I took him in the first round of about 5 of my 8 drafts.
His 54% passing in college saw that coming.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But at any rate, I made a bet with Ben that the Colts would beat the Packers. And in that bet, if the Packers lost, Ben would have to go on Dance with Bacon sporting Bears gear. So in turn, if the Packers won,
what is happening right now? Don't do this, asshole.
I have no choice.
Don't do this.
This is going to hurt me.
Please don't do this.
But
Please don't do this.
Have no
My
choice.
Stomach hurts. I don't want to do this anymore. I think I just urinated myself.
I'm going to try not to puke.
Why in the hell is this happening? What is that monstrosity? How are those colors flattering, Ben? You tell me. How are these good colors? Can't you change your uniform a little bit? Every other team has. Even the Colts have changed up their uniforms a little bit.
Yeah.
You bring out those old uniforms every once in a while that looks like I puked after a green pea dinner all over myself.
Look,
with cheese.
Ben says, "Oh, that's sexy."
For who, Ben?
It's actually burning my scalp. So it's not going to be on for very long. So take your pictures, take your screenshots while you can, Ben.
Are you lactose intolerant? That's the only problem.
I feel like I'm going to vomit. Really? I really do.
Oh boy,
it's probably the worst thing I've ever done in my life. And if I introduced you to my ex-wives, you would know that that's bad.
Yeah. Wow. We got we got a current wife here too.
Yeah. That's why I said my ex-wife. All of a sudden, you see something get thrown at me. You know where it's coming from.
Jason, you finally look good. Thanks, Jason.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Jason.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks for watching. You had to watch today, didn't you?
Yeah. Of all time, you know what it was because I put in the caption.
I can't believe
I put in the caption that Combs is going to pay a debt. He was like, "Oh, I've got to watch that." That's the only reason he's watching.
You're such a giant D-bag.
I hate that I'm wearing.
All right, can we move on to the game because I want to act like this isn't happening.
Let's talk about the Bears last week. Let's start with last week.
Last week the first half was more of the same.
Yeah.
Gave me a sick feeling. There was a lot of penalties. I think they had 10 penalties for over 80 yards, and that's just a guess. I think I'm around where it was. It's the number of penalties, too, that brought back a lot of big plays, like one right after the other.
Yeah.
And then the second half, they got things going. They started playing some power football.
Michelle, if you took a picture of this and you're posting it right now, we're fighting, just so you know. Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's not good. I know a good lawyer if you need to talk, but
I've been divorced before. I know.
Oh, okay. This is old hat. Pun intended. Anyway, and then second half, tale of two halves, played a lot better. Caleb looked really sharp. I think we're going to have to talk about the whole DJ Moore thing, the elephant in the room thing with all that. They had trouble syncing up. And while we're on it, I think I do have to ask the question, why DJ Moore looks like Trudy from the Facts of Life. I'm just saying we'll do it again. It's DJ Moore.
Stop doing DJ Moore like that.
Trudy looks Trudy from the
I feel
Facts
like
of
I'm
Life.
back at my eye
Facts of
exam.
Life. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have a wide receiver that doesn't like his quarterback.
He likes his
I just
Look,
came up with that. It's catchy.
You're good with
I'm
pulling
just-
things out of your head.
I'm just thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
But look, at any rate, when you look at DJ Moore, and I know a lot of people are talking about DJ Moore on the sidelines. Nobody's talking to Caleb Williams on the sidelines.
DJ Moore at press conferences too.
But when you're watching stuff on TV, when you're watching that stuff, you see a 3-second clip of a 3-hour game of the sidelines. And I heard them talking about this on, I can't remember which, I think it was Mullion Hall. We're talking about this. You get what the TV wants to show you. You don't get the true story. I find it hard to believe that he's not getting coached up on the sideline. Shane Waldron isn't talking to him on the sideline, which I don't know if that's a good thing anyway. I don't know if you really want because Shane Waldron as a play caller is atrocious. But I don't know. He's getting coaching. Like, I'm not saying he's not getting the coaching. And he's shown improvement week after week. Now, I don't know if that's just Caleb's talent coming through. I don't know if that is coaching behind the scenes. I don't know what all of that stuff is attributed to. I'd like to think it's attributed to his talent because his coaching staff is horrendous.
I mean, yeah, but you got to stop blaming everybody else around him. I mean, there were a couple of throws that have not been good to DJ Moore. I mean, that throw in the back of the end zone, yes, it was great, but he also missed 3 or 4 other throws. To the other quarterback that makes those throws, but there was another quarterback.
There's also
with the Bears who would make 3 out of 4 of those throws. He probably doesn't make the throw in the back of the end zone on his 3rd read.
They lose that game with Justin Fields.
I doubt that.
He doesn't make that throw to DJ Moore in the back of the end zone that
got
them going in the second half. He never makes that touchdown.
That offense is like silly
He is already out of the pocket and he's getting sacked.
Is Luke Getsy the offensive coordinator? Because that's a fact. Maybe they do lose. But
you watch that play back, and we've talked about this behind the scenes, but if you watch that play back, you watch him look to his left, and he's looking for Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's not open. So he pans a little bit more to the center, looking for Roma Dunze. Roma Dunze's not open. The pocket's collapsing. He glances to the right, sees DJ Moore, sees he's got a seam, and that seam is so tight, and he puts it in the only spot that you can put it in. I'm not even acknowledging that. That you can't, like,
people to see what
the defender
DJ Moore
even gets a
looks
finger
like.
on the ball, and DJ Moore comes. It was the only spot you put that ball with the pocket collapsing, and it was his 3rd read. Those are the things that you didn't see out of Justin Fields in 3+ years.
No, I mean, there were a couple of throws. I remember a throw in Detroit with Mooney. I know he stepped up in the pocket to DJ Moore against Detroit again.
Washington,
these were separate
like
games.
times.
Yeah, Washington a bunch of times. Washington's coming, by the way. We can talk about that as well. But Jeremiah does say Caleb has gotten better every start.
Yes.
Megan TV is angry that we're not doing our Wheel of Death. We got to get Brandon in a Speedo.
Yes.
Combs in a Speedo, which everybody can't wait for.
Yeah.
She does call you a poser.
I should have just worn a Speedo when I was helping you paint that room yesterday.
Yeah, I mean,
that would have been the time to do it.
No, that.
Yeah. While you were on the floor and I was rolling the wall above
I'm not liking this where the story is going at all. It's almost as bad as the hat.
That wouldn't have paid. The hat is horrendous, and I can't wait to take this damn thing off. But
it looks
sometimes
terrible.
you have to pay your debts, and Megan TV, I promise you, the debts from the Wheel of Death are definitely coming. I will have an ACT test. There's been a little issue with the whole Speedo challenge, but we will do that. We will wax.
They don't have enough Speedo on the planet to cover not your front side, but your back side.
Yeah, exactly.
And your waistline.
Yeah, we got to find a Speedo that like my stomach won't cover.
Are you gonna bring it up, like Urkel? Are you gonna bring it up like up the Speedo? Is it gonna come up a little bit? I think it should show a little camel toe.
Little chocolate starfish.
Facts alive.
Little-
Facts alive.
Oh,
I like it.
anyway.
Wait, I thought you wanted more viewers. You're going to put Combs in a speed. It wasn't my idea. I didn't even want to do these wheel of deaths. I want to be on the record with that. But what a beautiful hat. Troy. Jesus. I've never seen you comment on the show, but thanks for coming in and commenting.
It's coming.
I feel like Ben called all his friends or something.
He called all
like,
the guys.
Watch this show. Watch it, show. You gotta watch the
His
show.
Packers today. You guys watch the show.
Gotta watch the show.
It's,
Ben did
the
ask.
Coming though. I am gonna vomit.
Ben did ask a real, actual sports question because that's what we do here.
Oh, we do.
I don't know why I'm the one keeping us on task. Really, not my job, but actually the complete opposite of my job. Where's the production staff to keep us on task? But Ben, how does Dalton get back-to-back revenge games against former teams? How does he do? What do you got on Dalton today? The red rifle.
Look,
it'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Here's my thing about today's game with the Panthers is that this.
I can't even look
if
at
this
you.
is the
look over here.
If this is the Bears team of the past, they lose this game today. Because this is a prototypical Bears letdown game, right? A game where they should win by 20 or 30 points. I don't think that this is the Bears of the past, though. I think that this team is moving forward. I think that with the next 2 weeks, you have to go 2-0, right? You have to beat the Panthers and the Jaguars.
You can't.
The Jaguars haven't won a game all year.
You can't lose this game. That Hallis Hall is in turmoil if they lose this game. I mean, the hard part of their schedule is coming. You know, just saw it today. One of the hardest schedules moving forward is the Bears schedule. Now they do have some soft teams in the Cardinals coming up. And other teams. Combs is waiting for the FBI to send back a Speedo from the Diddy raid.
That's actually a good one. That's a good one, Megan. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
I'll give you that one. I
mean, we'll see how you're walking when you're cutting the grass in your Speedo.
I actually thought Doubting Thomas maybe intercepted it and used it as
that's disgusting.
Cleanup rag.
He'll be changing his moniker. I wonder what that'll be. Okay. But anyway, yeah, I mean, you cannot lose this game. No, you lose this game, and I don't see how they're a winning team this year. I mean, I don't want to put everything on one game, but you lose to this terrible team. You also lost to the Colts, who I think aren't very good.
They're not.
Yeah. You lose both those games. And
the offense was atrocious.
You got to sweep Detroit. You know, maybe you got to sweep Minnesota or the Packers too. That's not going to happen.
Think about the division at that point. You got to think about salvaging a 7-win season.
And if you're 8-9 at the end of the season, Eberflus is gone. You did it again. You have now a quarterback starting in the league with 2 different offensive coordinators, which I don't know. I think is still in the cards, even if they win this game.
Yeah.
I think losing this game is, if they win this game, it's like, yay. If they lose this game, it's like DEFCON's 5 or whatever the DEFCON is where it's bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's DEFCON 1 or DEFCON 5.
1. Yeah.
You would know.
Yeah.
You were in the military. It doesn't show today. It doesn't show today. Really showing up for the USA today, aren't you? Go America. America.
I hate you.
Yeah. You hate me. You say that from the brim of the worst organization in sports.
I know it's bad.
I mean, at least the worst logo in sports.
But sometimes you make bets that you think are good. And then sometimes you make bets that don't turn out so good. And the Packers losing to the Colts was a very bad bet. And I got stuck.
Yeah, you should have Packers losing to the Minnesota Vikings and Jordan Love throwing 3 picks. But he's the savior. Give him $50 million a year.
Dude,
that's market
can't even
price.
Get started because if Ben called Aaron and Aaron comes on this show and hears me talking bad about Jordan Love, he might lose his mind.
Yeah, Ludwig.
Saying that Jordan Love is overpaid is not okay.
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. They're going to play him soon, but
look, I don't.
For right now, the Carolina Panthers are at Chicago today. Chicago Bears.
You don't want to talk about the Packers?
I don't want to talk
Jordan
about
Love?
the Packers. I don't care about the Packers. They're not very good. They're not going to be very good this year.
We
I
were
don't
wrong when we
care.
said they got it right with Jordan Love. We were wrong.
I mean, I never said they totally had it right with Jordan Love. I think
did.
he's Kirk
Okay, so I was wrong.
Cousins. I think he's Kirk Cousins. If you want Kirk Cousins, there you go. You got Jordan Love,
I
Kirk
think he's
Cousins,
Trevor
Jordan Love.
Lawrence, which is even worse than Kirk Cousins.
Oh,
I
Trevor
really do. I mean,
Lawrence.
the
That
way
whole
that
Trevor
the guy
Lawrence
throws
thing
off
is
his back
pretty
foot and
bad.
thinks that he is Brett Favre reincarnated is going to be a problem. And he doesn't have the arm like Brett Favre had. He doesn't have that quarterback IQ to not get intercepted 3 or 4 times a game. Like, he is going to be a problem for the Green Bay Packers. They are going to hate that contract as much as Jacksonville is going to hate the contract of Trevor Lawrence in 2 years.
It's hard to disagree with that right now. Hit a guy while he's down, but I just thought you play half a season in this. You play half a season well in this league now, and you get $50 million a year. I mean, Trevor Lawrence had one good half in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And he got $50 million a year. We talked about his contract. It just goes up too. He's going to be getting $75 million a year in 2027.
Yeah.
Can he just peel off a mill or two for me?
Want to make another bet regarding that Love contract? Sure. What are the parameters of that bet, Ben? Ben also says if the Bears split the next 2 or even lose both, are there consequences in Alice Hall?
There's
the answer
never
to that is exactly.
They went 7-10 last year. They lost
absolutely not.
They lost 3 games with a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter last year, and 2 guys
and they retained the head coach.
And 2 coaches got fired from their team, including the defensive coordinator, which was the head coach's best friend, for probably showing their genitals to people.
Did I say?
And he still didn't get fired. So our Bears coach has never been fired in season. So he's not. I mean, he's not going to get fired this season.
Did I say Brett Favre was dead?
Did you kill Brett Favre?
I don't think I said. Did I say Brett Favre was dead, guys? I don't think I said Brett Favre was dead. I think Jeremiah actually needs hearing aids.
He's probably in the bathtub.
Because he probably is in the bathtub with candles watching this show right now.
I mean, it appears he has Parkinson's.
Here's what happened was
he steals money from the Mississippi government.
Somebody came in and threw the rubber ducky in, and the rubber ducky splashed at the time where I was talking about Brett Favre. He thought that I said Brett Favre was dead.
Killing Brett Favre, huh?
No. Look, he does. I mean, he did come out and say he has Parkinson's. I think that maybe he's just running from the scandal of stealing everybody's welfare money in Mississippi, but says he has Parkinson's.
Yeah, if you're stealing money from the state government of Mississippi, I mean, come on.
Yikes.
I don't think they have a lot of money there. I don't even think they have running water. Sorry for everybody from Mississippi.
All right, I gotta take this shit up.
No, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to. We got people clapping. Oh boy.
Much better.
Here we go.
Yes.
Shanna says Jeremiah needs a toaster in the bath.
Wow.
I'm guessing plugged in.
That's wow.
A little weird out there.
Whoa. So I might have killed Brett Favre. I don't think I did, but I might have. But Shanna's trying to kill Jeremiah. So that's rough. That's rough. But at any rate, so there's never consequences at Hallis Hall ever.
Yeah, I mean, there is, but they don't happen until the end of the season. I mean, I don't know what the consequences are going to be. Maybe Eberflus can't go to church with Virginia McCaskey anymore.
Has to fire his entire staff and gets to pick a whole nother one.
Mid-season, that's probably not going to be good. I don't know who's going to be available. I mean, maybe you can bring in Norv Turner. I don't know. There's nobody left. I mean, there's dead head coaches that they can bring in.
While we're talking about dead people, I mean, that's.
I mean, Bill Walsh would be a great addition to this staff if he wasn't dead for the last 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, so would Vince Lombardi.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, I don't know. He'd have to innovate a little bit. I don't think they're running the sweep every other play anymore.
Fine. So Ben comes back and says parameters. Love is as good or better than Cousins through the lives of their contracts. You can name the consequences if I lose. If I win, it's full Packers gear for the whole show before the Packers and Bears game the following season.
Do you know that Kirk Cousins just threw for 509 yards? I mean, he is, 37? Like, I don't know.
I mean, I guess, sure, I'll take that bet. Why not? Cousins
He
isn't
just
going to have
threw
better
for
numbers than Kirk Cousins.
I mean, he threw for 509 yards with
Yeah.
3 touchdowns.
He might not
That's
even be
pretty
the
good.
starting
He
quarterback
threw for
after this year.
250 yards in each half.
Yeah. All right.
It takes
it's
Bears
a deal.
quarterbacks like 100 attempts to do
Yeah.
that.
And don't you worry, Ben. I've got plenty of jerseys that you can squeeze into.
Doubting Thomas, Bears win today with a breakout game for Caleb Williams. His positivity, like it's as if he's like setting a trap for us.
So
He's setting a trap because he's diabolical.
I said this on BetMGM tonight on Friday.
I don't even know what his moniker is.
I can't see it.
I don't know. I'll figure it
Yeah.
out after the show.
But at any rate,
Probably something bad.
it's probably something stupid.
Bears win today with a breakout game for
I
Caleb
said on
Williams.
BetMGM tonight that Caleb Williams is my pick this week to throw for 3+ touchdowns.
3+. I don't know if they're going to
3+
throw
touchdowns.
that much against this defense. There's like
that's
no
why I think that-
linebackers left in Carolina.
I think
My
he
dad's going to be
will.
playing linebacker. Go, Dad.
I think two of them might be, running back screens inside the red zone that end up going into the end zone. But I think Caleb Williams is my pick for 3+ touchdowns today. And you can actually bet that right now at plus 1,800 for him to throw 3+ touchdowns. I mean, those are good odds, right? I mean, 18-1.
I'd like to offer a rebuttal.
You're not going there?
I don't think he's
no
gonna
faith,
throw for
no
3
faith in our guy.
It's not faith. 3 touchdowns, little much.
When was the last time a Bears?
Does running touchdowns
Fields last
count?
year against Washington?
Yeah, Fields had like 4 or 5 touchdowns, but I just don't see that happening.
Fields, I think he did against Washington, right?
He did against Washington. He also did
Williams?
against the Broncos. Williams has not
USC?
thrown. Yeah, USC.
He's only his 4th game in.
Yes.
So
He did against Utah
it's a
State
breakout.
last year in the first half, I think. He did against Colorado in the first half last year.
Yeah. It's Rocky in the diner from Superman 2.
Oh, yeah. The guy that beats up Superman in Superman 2. I mean, that's a deep
I don't think
cut.
I've ever seen Superman 2.
Oh, you haven't lived.
That's fair. That's fair. So no, I mean, you wouldn't go in at 18-1 on Caleb Williams to throw 3+ touchdowns?
Throwing them? No.
Okay.
I'm sorry. No, it depends. I mean, for $10,
You're gonna eat your words.
I guess for $10, I do that. You win 180.
$10 to win 180. Why not? It's not the worst $10 you've ever spent.
No, I just think they're going to run it a lot. I just think they're going to run it a
Tijuana that
lot
got you for more
with
than that.
Swift and Roschon. What?
I said there's hookers in Tijuana that got you for more than that.
If I ever went to Tijuana,
Oh wait.
I'd probably do drugs out there, not women, but whatever. Just
Oh, we are off the
you know,
rails. Today.
yeah,
We are off
already.
the
You
rails
keep
today.
pulling us off the rails.
Can't help it. I had to wear that nasty ass thing got seeped into my brain. I've got cheese brain.
You wore it for like 10 minutes.
I
And
know.
it was one of the
That's how
worst
bad
10
it
minutes of
was.
my life. I'm not going to lie. But I thought you were supposed to wear it for the whole show. Was that not a thing?
No. I said I would
Okay.
wear it on the show, not for the whole show. There was that was never going to be a thing. I can't wear that stuff. I was dreading. I was more nervous about that than I have been about anything else in my life. Was wearing that damn hat.
Anything else in your life?
Yeah,
You've
I
had
thought-
a
I thought I was
sweet
gonna
life.
need an exorcist.
You've had a sweet life. If wearing a Packers hat is the worst thing that could happen to you.
It's pretty bad. Have you? If you want to wear it?
No,
No,
thank
you don't want to put it on for like.
No.
See, because it would be the
I'd
worst thing that would
rather-
ever happen to you.
I'd rather wear a Thunderbolt shirt, which I'm doing right now. Go Bolts!
Oh my god. Anyway,
Possibly the only winning team in Chicago. Well, the Cubs had a winning season. What were they, 83 and 79 again? Great.
Shanna's coming at you.
Bits,
40
you go to the donkey show.
83 and
Tijuana.
83. That doubled the White Sox wins.
I don't know what one thing has to do with the other. It really
They
does.
both play in
You could be
Chicago.
83 and 7.
One
You
have
could
to
be
do with the other.
83
It's
and
the whole
79
premise of our show.
for every year and never make the playoffs, and then eventually have a terrible team because you never get good draft picks. I mean, I'm just saying, being middling, average is the worst place to be. I'm not doing a donkey show in Tijuana. Come on, Shanna. Get your head out of the gutter.
Give it to Julianne. It's actually not mine. I had to borrow it from a neighbor. I would never purchase Packers gear, so I actually borrowed it from a neighbor.
From a neighbor, huh?
Yeah, my neighbor's a Packer fan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Got a great life over there.
Yeah.
Maybe you should cut their lawn with
I
your
do.
Speedo on.
I do.
There you go.
I cut their lawn on.
There you go.
Not with a Speedo on. That would be bad. I live on 107th and Kedzie. Imagine all the traffic at the red light when traffic stops. Me just out there in the Speedo. Get a lot of looks. I get a lot of looks when I'm out there in jeans.
Well, they're cutoffs. I think that's your problem right there. It's got the cutoff jeans from 1983 going.
You're an asshole.
Okay. With your British Knights shoes.
Oh.
And your Z Cavarici shirt.
Mega TV clapping back at Shannon. We're going to have a fight. Usually it's us fighting.
That's where Shannon used to work, huh?
The Donkey Show. Tijuana.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Correction. Fitz started in the Donkey Show in Tijuana. Come on. You can do better than that, Jeremiah.
Starred in a Donkey Show?
Even like does Donkey play on the offensive line for the Bears?
Was he the donkey or was he the prostitute? Which one was he, Jeremiah? I need to know. Anyway.
I don't. I know exactly what he's gonna say. I already know it.
You just
even need to
go
hear
to a show in Tijuana and all of a sudden
I don't need to take this
let
anymore.
out on a leash through a door.
Oh, God.
All right. Back to football.
It does say Week 5 Bears pregame right on the title of our show.
Well, maybe if they gave us a coaching staff finally, we would have other things to talk about.
I mean, we do have things to talk about. You're a fire crotch. Andy Dalton is the red rifle. I thought you'd have an inside track on the game today. He is the quarterback for the Carolina Panthers, who the Bears are facing.
How do you know?
He's played pretty well. Yeah, you better tuck it in before you put the Speedo on.
My wife throwing shots.
It's going to look like you're wrestling Carrot Top over there. Got Carrot Top in a headlock. Yes.
Oh, but at any rate.
I mean, the Red Rocket's been good.
Is it his revenge game? Do you think it's his revenge game?
I mean, revenge over what? He got hurt. And Justin Fields, who was the quarterback that was supposed to be developing, went in. And then, you had 7-step drops, and they almost killed Justin Fields and probably ruined his career.
They did.
I mean, that's the history there. But Dalton got hurt. What else are you going to do after that? You got hurt, dude. I mean, I don't know why it's his revenge game. I mean, the Bengals game would have been his revenge game. I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, he was with the Bengals, and then they got rid of him, and he did okay there. He's not a bad quarterback. I just think having no mobility against this defense, not a whole lot of weapons.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Talk about a bad organization and a bad team. I mean, just terrible. We listened to the interview Ryan Poles had over the last week where he was talking about he actually went. I didn't know this. Ryan Poles, the Bears GM, actually went for the Carolina GM job and didn't get it. And he sounded like he was kind of pissed about it, but he had to like reevaluate himself. And then he got the Bears job, and then he completely fleeced the Carolina Panthers for multiple first-round picks, another second-round pick next year. DJ Moore, who again resembles a little bit.
Stop it.
I mean, look at him. Look at Trudy from Facts of Life. DJ Moore, Trudy from Facts of Life. Just saying. But they got DJ Moore. They signed him to multiple years. Again, DJ Moore, Trudy from Facts of Life. But anyway.
Unbelievable.
Anyway, I mean, they got all that from the Carolina Panthers. I don't know if he was pissed at the Carolina Panthers or he knew that the Carolina Panthers owner is one of the worst owners in sports. I thought Trigger was on house arrest. Doubting Thomas never shows up to any of our remotes, but he thinks he can talk. Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, I mean, that was kind of interesting. And now the Bears. I mean, could this be a Ryan Poles revenge game possibly? Because the Bears definitely have a better roster.
Yeah.
But you kept Everflus.
DJ Moore revenge game.
I mean, DJ Moore. I mean, you know, they didn't use Cole Kmet in week 1, and now look at all that Cole Kmet's done. He's got a touchdown. He had multiple receptions a couple of games ago against the Colts. You know, maybe they go to DJ Moore a lot. I think this could be a good DJ Moore game. Keenan Allen's back. He was back last week. He's back again. He could be, you know, comfort for Caleb Williams. He plays really well in the slot. Is a very good possession receiver. Did really well on third downs and first downs last year with the Chargers.
Yeah.
I think he could be useful in this game as well. You know, maybe DJ Moore is a deep threat. And he's not just getting those screens and where they just want him to break like 4 tackles because the Bears have trouble blocking screens. I mean, just historically and in this offense.
There's got to be more quick routes to DJ Moore and Keenan Allen both. Let Rome Odunze be your deep guy, but let Keenan Allen, let DJ Moore, who are both great route runners, run the slants. Let them run the outs. Let them run the cross patterns. They don't have to be the guys that are constantly going downfield. You can get the ball into DJ Moore's hands. 2 weeks ago, and I don't know what DJ Moore would even have to complain about, but 2 weeks ago, DJ Moore had like 12 targets, and he caught like 10 of them. Like, he had a ton of catches. And so they're trying to get him the ball. It's just sometimes, look, the touchdown that he had last week, right? The offensive line in weeks 1 and 2 were not allowing the Bears to get there. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't allowing. Now, last week in the second half, not the first half, but in the second half, it seemed like they figured something out. And if that's the game plan again, you got DJ Swift, or not DJ Swift, DeAndre Swift. You got him. It was his breakout game as a Bear. I mean, what do you have? 95 rushing yards, 70 receiving yards. He was a monster last week for the Bears out of the backfield. If you figured something out and it's going to work, then Shane Waldron, you're going to see over the next week or two, either A, is going to adjust to that, and he's going to do what works, or B, he's going to be just like Matt Nagy was and just like Getsy was and not change his game plan to what works. And you're going to see the Bears go back to that, and you're going to see the Bears regress, even against a bad defense like the Carolina Panthers or the Jacksonville Jaguars coming up next week in London. You're going to see regression there because Shane Waldron is not capable of changing his game plan. Now, I don't have faith in Shane Waldron yet. He hasn't instilled that in me just yet. And I believe that if it still keeps trending the way that it's trending now, if the Bears only win 6, 7, 8 games this season, if they're an 8-9 football team at the end of the season, we have an entirely new coaching staff next year.
Why don't you have faith in Shane Waldron? Could it be the speed option where your entire offensive line was on the ground?
It's got something to do
on
with it.
4th and 1 at the goal line.
Yeah, it's got something to do with it.
Showing the picture right now for anybody who's just listening at home.
There was a video. Did
Get
you
a
see
screen, for Christ's sake. Everybody has a screen.
Of Cam Newton talking about that play?
I think you sent it to me.
So Cam Newton was talking about this play.
He was dressed like a pilgrim in the Crucible.
He's so weird.
And it just, it was very distracting.
So weird. Like,
it was very distracting.
The way he wears, like, he's a weird dude. But what he was talking about makes a ton of sense, right? Like, when you were talking about, he's like, when you're looking at the quarterback and you're looking at the running back, this play is not on them. This play is on coaching. You can't call that play. That's a terrible play call. And so, yeah, I'm about to pull it up. But no, it's just it's a terrible play call, and it's something that can't happen. And that is part of the reason why Shane Waldron hasn't instilled confidence. Part of the reason why Shane Waldron hasn't instilled confidence in me is the inability to just run the simple patterns. Why aren't you running more slants? Why aren't you running more crossing patterns? Why aren't you running? And I can't believe I'm saying this after last year, but why aren't you running more running back and wide receiver screens? Quick
I
passes
don't know
just to
about
help your
that.
offensive line succeed. You have to put guys in a position to succeed. You have to put guys that are less talented than what you need. You can put them in a position to succeed. You can make them look better than what they are by play calling. And if you're a good play caller, that's what you do. And Shane Waldron has not shown that.
If I'll just say this right now, Caleb Williams has 40 or more attempts in this game. The Bears are probably going to lose. I mean, he should not be throwing 40 attempts. He's not that quarterback yet. I hope he's that quarterback at one point in his career where he throws the ball 40, 45 times and they actually win. Here's Cam Newton as Pilgrim. Anyway, not Trudy from Facts of Life.
John Fitzgibbons chimes in, who I'm surprised that he's awake because I heard he had to work at 4 o'clock.
Yes, everybody in Chicago heard he had to work at 4 a.m. yesterday. So, I heard, my dad heard, everybody had to know that on a Saturday he was working at 4 a.m.
Yeah, I've got one of those brother-in-laws who we'll talk about. He's got to work. He's got to work all this time and all this stuff. And then he sends.
That would be Mark. That would be Mark. I would say his name.
Yeah. And then he sends me text messages of him with his feet up on a desk watching TV. And I'm supposed to feel bad about him working a double. Come on. City workers. But anyway, he also said he would have called an audible, and Caleb didn't. It's on him also. But he also said that you have to go to the line of scrimmage with more than one play. And the reason why he didn't call an audible is because there wasn't more than one play designed for that spot. So that's why he doesn't believe Caleb called an audible. I've seen Caleb audible out of a lot of stuff so far, which is another thing that we never saw from Justin Fields.
Not much. I don't know how the Luke Getsy offense was set up. He did say he could audible out of stuff a couple of times.
But he just never
I don't know if that was Luke Getsy covering his ass, which was basically his modus operandi.
Well, we see it all the time from Caleb. I see it at least 3 or 4 times a game where Caleb's audibling out of something.
DJ has had like 8-yard depth per route. They're not using him right. That's why he's frustrated. Yeah, I mean, even in the play with your introduction that you put together beautifully. The play
with some sound that's about us trusting the coaching staff.
That's the Washington play where he did go deep. There was the Detroit play that I talked about earlier where he does go deep in that game. He is a deep threat. I mean, yes, he's very good when you get him even behind the linebackers. When you get him behind the safeties, he's able to get around or through guys. But I mean, you can't just exclusively have him there. He can also run like crazy and get behind the cornerbacks that are on him. He's got to have some matchup issues with Odunze on the other side and Keenan Allen now playing. You got DeAndre Swift out there. You got Cole Kmet. Like there's got to be some schemes where he is out there, and there was some plays that they haven't been able to hook up on. And DJ Moore did say, like, I have to do it the Caleb Williams way, which was a little Trudy from Facts of Life to me. I hate to keep bringing it up, but it was a little attitude. I mean, he did have a little attitude with it. I don't know if there's a problem there or not. There could be absolutely nothing, but he has looked frustrated during games. And then after a game, when everything cools off, he's still showing a little bit of frustration. This was a guy who backed Justin Fields last year, who wanted to keep Justin Fields, who had his best year with Justin Fields, had his best game with Justin Fields, and now he's got to break in another quarterback, which he had to do a lot of on the Carolina Panthers. Maybe where they never had a lot of good quarterbacks. I mean, they still don't. They got the Red Rocket, I guess, for a few games until he breaks a hip.
So that's where
or shatters one.
Look, the Bears should just hire me. I'm 12-0 on Madden.
Here we go.
I know how to call plays. But no.
Yeah, all right. I'll see you guys there.
So
thank you.
I don't know. I mean, I would take the job. I would take the paycheck. But no, I don't know that they're not using DJ Moore in the right. I think DJ Moore still thinks that he is a vertical threat, but with a too deep safety in this league, there's not very many vertical threats anymore. Even CeeDee Lamb isn't really a vertical threat. He runs great routes. When you see CeeDee Lamb with the Dallas Cowboys, he's running a lot of cross patterns. He's running a lot of outs. He's running a lot of slants. Like those are the things that he is doing there, and he makes plays happen. So if you're DJ Moore, yes, you might have to adjust to something like that, but you're a great route runner. You are a fantastic route runner. Now, do you want some of those routes to go a little bit deeper? Sure, maybe you beat the cornerback, but once you beat the cornerback, the free safety or the strong safety are there to back them up. You're not always as open as you think you are. So, and I know all wide receivers are divas, and he says talking about doing it the Caleb way. Whatever way you have to do it is the way that works. It's not about the Caleb way. It's not about the DJ Moore way. It's the way that works, and you have to find that. And you can't. You're not. Look, DJ Moore is quick, but he's not. He's not like. Do you look at him like a Deshaun Jackson or even an Amari Cooper type?
No, I don't look. He's not tall enough to be those guys. But I mean, if you run the ball well, if you do have screens where people actually block, then he's going to be a vertical threat, like P Diddy if he ever gets bail. That dude's going to be vertical for sure. He's going to be in a plane and a jet somewhere to some country I can't even pronounce. Anyway,
if he could just drop off my speed, that'd be great.
But anyway, I mean, yeah, no, I agree with you. There isn't a lot of vertical threats these days, but it's been known to happen. You can score a lot of points in this league still.
But in order to do that, you have to make them think that you can run a short pattern. It's the same thing with like the run game, right? Like if you've got an offense that can spread, then they can't stack the box and your run game opens up. And it's the same thing with the deep passing game. You have to make them think that you are going to throw the ball short. You have to make them cheat in so that you can beat them deep. And if you're not doing that, you're not going to beat them deep. It's not going to happen. Players in the NFL, defensive players, all players in the NFL are too good. This isn't college. This isn't high school. You're not going to trick these guys. These guys know the playbook. The plays that you have in your playbook, probably not much different than the plays that they have in their playbook.
You're not tricking a lot of people.
So you're not going to surprise people with a lot of things. But if they tend to think that you're going to throw a short route and you've got a guy who can pump fake, you got a guy who can, make them think that they're going to run a good route, then sure, you can run a pattern where you're going inside. And then when he cheats in to take that pass away, beat him deep. But you have to be able to do that, and the Bears have not done that, and that's why they can't throw these deep passes to DJ Moore or Keenan Allen or even Roma Dunze for that matter.
I think Jeremiah has a good point here. He's been beating.
He never has a good point.
He's been beating his receivers like a drum. Hasn't gotten the ball because the line can't hold up to give Caleb time to throw. I think that's another thing. If you're going to go vertical, you have to be able to throw. It all trickles down from bad play calling. Yeah, that too. But you don't look good as a play caller if you have no offensive line. I mean, you got to have some kind of offensive line, and they seem to surge in that second half, at least protect them a little bit in that second half. I mean, don't look at Braxton Jones' plays in the second half of that game, but still doing a lot of lays. But yeah, I mean, the protection has to be better. And if being in a power offense and throwing those short throws a little bit better and scheming it up a little bit more does that.
Yeah. Before we get to the wheel of death, there's something I want to put out there to Bears fans too. Stop making the comparison to Jaden Daniels. Stop making the comparison to what Justin Fields is doing. Stop making the comparison, because those guys are in different situations with different coaching, different weapons, different everything. Now, look, Caleb's got a bunch of weapons. Don't get me wrong, but Washington has a better offensive line than the Bears do, right? Pittsburgh has better coaching and a better offensive line than the Bears do.
Yeah.
So you can't make that comparison. We don't know what those guys would do behind this Bears offensive line with this Bears coaching staff. They'd probably be doing much of the same, or maybe they'd be doing worse. Maybe they'd be doing better, but we don't know. So when you make that comparison, it's just that stuff that is, you're going to listen to guys like Stephen A. Smith talk about and talk nonsense about, and then Greeny saying the same shit that we said 2 years after we say it and getting paid millions of dollars to say it.
He gets paid millions?
Yeah.
Millions. Jesus Christ.
So yeah, it's insane. It's insane. And he's
sorry, Jesus.
Every time I'm listening to ESPN 1000 and Greeny's show comes on, I turn off ESPN 1000. That tells you anything. So at any rate,
he had a point though.
He did have a point. But you're going to. It was the same point that we had 2 years before that.
Yes.
You can't
true.
make those comparisons because they're in different situations. They're on different teams. So making those comparisons, they're just going to drive you nuts, right? These guys are playing better right now because they have better teams. They have better coaching. So they're put in a better position to do this. So we have to pick somebody to choose the wheel of death punishment this week. It is your turn to choose somebody to pick the wheel of death punishment. Who's it going to be?
Dave, you look like you're.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Do you want to pick the punishment? Think about it for a little while. We can't hurt ourselves. Well, I guess we can.
All our lives hang by a thread. Now we've got a man waiting for sentence. But ain't it the truth? You take your chances with the law. Justice is only a roll of the dice, a flip of the coin, a turn of the wheel.
This is the Wheel of Death.
And here we go.
All right. So the wheel of death. And I guess we have somebody in the crowd that is going to pick the punishment. Fitz didn't bring the mic this week, so
I don't hear anything. Now I hear stuff.
wheel of death punishment. We got somebody in the crowd. We don't have the mic today. So what is
Doubting
our
Thomas
punishment?
can't pick again, but he says loser has to rob the 7-Eleven up the street. I don't know. It's a little
We
redundant.
can't do anything illegal.
We are
We
on the
can't do
south
anything
side.
that will cause us bodily harm, other than wearing a gross ass Packers hat. That definitely did me
I
bodily
ate
harm.
like 10 hot wings last year. That really
Well, we
disturbed
can't
my
do anything
stomach.
that do me bodily harm. If it does him bodily harm, it's fine. So what's the punishment for this week?
Do you need time?
He said, "No, I don't." Oh God, we have to wear our underwear on the outside of our pants for the entire show. Here at McNally's Live. Actually, wait, this is
I
not
got
fair.
great underpants.
He used to come to this bar in his robe, but you think he's afraid to wear underwear
Yeah.
outside of his pants? He actually wore his underwear with no
Indeed.
pants into this bar.
I did. 2007. Anybody that wants to go into a time machine
Yeah.
and check it out, you can.
All right, are you ready?
And then you can puke. Let's do it.
All right. So first game we've got
Got here.
Bengals.
I won last week, by the way.
Did win last
2
week.
and
I have
2.
to do the
2 and 2.
ACT test or an IQ test.
Well, yeah.
So we'll figure it out and we'll get that done. So you
Yeah,
guys
that
can
should
all
be
laugh
great.
at how
That should
dumb
work
I am.
great for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're either gonna find out
I
how
want the
dumb I
score.
am, or you're gonna find out that I'm a genius.
Yeah,
like I
that's
did
not going
this
to
entire
happen.
time.
That's not going to happen.
It could happen.
Okay.
I got a 50-50 chance.
Anything can happen.
Ravens, Bengals. Bengals are at home, but they are a 2.5 point dog at home.
It's a tough one. Bengals look better. I'm going to stick with Joe Burrow.
I'm
Go
going to stick
Bengals.
with Joe Burrow
Oh,
too. Because
wow.
here's my shot across the ball this week. You could get the Bengals right now at plus 1,200 to win the AFC North. That's a juicy bet.
Wow.
That's a juicy bet.
I don't want to doubt Burrow. He's looking
He's not,
better.
man.
He can grip water bottles now and footballs.
Yeah. All right. So then we've got Patriots at home against the Dolphins. The Dolphins were a 1-point dog on Friday. They've jumped to a 2-point favorite.
Who's quarterback
New
for
England.
the Dolphins?
That would be Snoop.
Dog?
Snoop Huntley. Not Snoop Dogg. Snoop Huntley.
Tyler?
Snoop Dogg's long lost cousin, Snoop Huntley.
Oh my God. You're making me pick this.
You got to pick one.
I do have Tyreek Hill in fantasy football.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to justify the Fins here. Go Fins!
All right. I'm taking the Patriots and I'm taking the points all day long. I'm not putting any money on a guy named Snoop in a football game.
I don't know.
Browns,
Put a lot of money into marijuana because of Snoop.
It's true.
Dog.
It's true. Browns and Commanders. Commanders at home. Commanders are a 3-point favorite at home.
Jaden Daniels look good. He's got to have one of those rookie
Has
games.
he faced a defense like Cleveland?
And they're a 3-point favorite.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels was my 1A when it came to quarterbacks. So I'm going to stick with him. Go Commanders.
I tried talking you into it just because I wanted to take the Commanders and talk you into the Browns, but I'm going Commanders too. Taking the Commanders -3.
You are a piece of crap. You're picking the next one.
Jaguars and Colts. Jaguars are a 3.5-point home favorite. I don't care how big of a favorite they are. I don't trust Trevor Lawrence to not destroy this. And Anthony Richardson is out. Joe Flacco, the better quarterback there right now.
Yeah,
anyway,
looked great last
Joe
week.
Flacco and the Colts to beat the
What's
Jaguars.
going on with that statue?
0-5 for the Jaguars.
Still playing good.
Do they fire their head coach after they go 0-5?
Yeah, I mean, it looks bad for Peterson. It does not look good.
Yeah.
And after this game, I think he'll be done. I'm going Colts too. Colts, both of us.
Perfect.
We got 4 minutes.
We got Bills, Texans. Texans are a 1.5-point favorite at home. This is a tough one.
I'm going Bills.
Okay. Well, I was going to go first, and I was going to take the Texans. I'll give
Okay.
up the 1.5 points. I think the Texans win this game. They get Tank Dell back. Joe Mixon still out, but they do get Tank Dell back. And Nico Collins has been otherworldly, so give me the Texans. Broncos Raiders. Sorry, Broncos are a 3-point home favorite.
Broncos Raiders. I took the Raiders last week, and somehow they won. But I don't know. Bo Nix is looking better. I'm going Broncos. I like Sean Payton.
I'm going to take the Raiders and the points. I'm going to take Gardner Minshew.
You were never going to take the Raiders in a million years.
What are you talking about?
You are.
You could be happy then if you think the Broncos are going to win. Can't wait.
Keep going.
49ers Cardinals. 49ers Cardinals. 49ers are a 7-point home favorite.
I knew it was going to be 7. I'm still taking the Niners.
Yeah, I'm on the Niners too. The Cardinals do not look good. They're
No.
not meshing well. Rams, Packers. Packers are a 3-point road favorite.
Going in to the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Packers.
You son of a bitch.
I don't take the Packers a lot.
I'm gonna take the
there you
Rams
go, Ben.
because fuck the Packers. That's why.
Okay.
We got Giants and Seahawks. Seahawks are a 7-point home favorite.
Screw the Giants. Like, there's no way I can take the Giants. Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks, giving up the points as well. Sunday Night Football, Steelers, Cowboys. Steelers are a 2.5-point home favorite in this game. I'm all over Justin Fields. I'm all over the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game. I think that they win it.
I can't trust the Cowboys. I've taken them once this year, and they actually won. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah. I mean, you would get 2.5 points if you took.
I don't even know what's going on with them, but whatever.
Monday Night Football, we got Chiefs, Saints.
Chiefs,
Chiefs are a 5.5-point favorite.
I'm going to stick with the Chiefs. So I took the Chargers last week, and it was a push.
I'm going to go with the Saints. The Chiefs offense has been struggling, and I think that the Saints
going out on the limb there.
I think the
That's
Saints
not like you at all.
Outright, so
I don't
plus
think
5.5.
that better be a sturdy limb.
Hey, it is what it is. And then finally, last but not least, the Bears, Panthers. The Bears are at home. They are a 4-point favorite.
4 point. No, it's been
Panthers.
fluctuating.
Do you trust the Bears enough to win this game by 4 or more points?
Yes, I do.
I do too.
I'm going
think
Bears.
The Bears should win this game by
Look
4
at
than 4
this.
points. I'm going to take the Bears.
Both of us. We were both against the Bears last week, and now we're for the Bears. They win one game. We're like Cub fans now. I'm like a Cub fan. I feel disgusting inside.
You are disgusting.
I feel like a bratwurst that's been injected with hydrochloric acid.
Oh. Unbelievable. Well, that's going to do it for us. It's about time for kickoff. We will be back here in 2 weeks here at McNally's. Not Bourbon Street. McNally's.
Yes.
We'll be back here in 2 weeks for the noon kickoff. I believe that is against the
Cardinals.
Commanders, I believe.
Commanders.
Possibly. No. Not going to England. Not going to England or
We're
Germany.
not going to, or Germany.
Yeah, or Germany.
Sending us to Germany.
But we will be back. We are going to start, just so everybody knows, we're going to run 50-50 raffles. And then we are also going to have a giveaway. But the giveaway is going to be a let's make a deal type giveaway as well with sports memorabilia. You have to be in attendance to win. You have to be in attendance to take home your prize. So if you got nothing to do and you're on the south side of Chicago and you want to watch the Bears game and hang out with us, Jim Oaks, for whatever reason,
And
feel
Combe
free to
gets
come
his
on
head
down.
shaved. I mean, what?
Wait, what?
Never mind.
You're gonna get your
Could
chest
be a-
waxed?
Oh man,
We have to ask McNally.
that's
okay.
happening. We're not doing
Hey
that.
Morgan,
here.
is it okay if
We're not
if,
doing that here.
Morgan?
It's
can
not.
We,
She said no.
Can we have
She
Fitz
said no.
wax
She
his
said
chest
no.
here in attendance?
She
Is
said
that
no.
okay?
She said she can't. It's disgusting, and she can't.
I mean, oh, all right. She said she wants a
Several
So
blindfolds.
that's fine. I just wanted to know if it was allowed in the bar because
How about
sanitary
gotta
reasons,
chain down all the sharp objects so people don't pierce their own eyeballs.
This is gonna be amazing. John Fitzgibbon says, "Great picks." What were your picks?
The sarcasm.
John, you
Yeah,
son of a-
exactly.
Well, we are going